basically what we're doing right now is we're trying to figure out if you can make a tessellation out of a hexagon, a six-sided polygon. And we learned that the interior angle of a hexagon is 120 degrees, which is 120. Now, using the variable n, we substitute it for whatever reason. Perhaps the sides, because it's not really important. But we do know that in each polygon, the vertices must add up to at least 360, or so it says. So what you have to do here is divide 120 by 120, which equals n, basically, since you mark out 120. Now what you do to one side, you have to do the other, so it's 360 divided by 120, which equals 3. And since 120 can be evenly distributed into 360, you can make a tessellation out of it. Yep, pretty interesting. Right. Now, sometimes it may give you a number just to try and figure out what the polygon is that has this degree measure. You can see that's 180, right? 1080? Maybe. Yeah. So basically you have to use the formula, but just a little bit differently. Since now you have to plug in the numbers instead. That's 180. Since my nephew, alright, so trying to figure out a number, I would use 8 since my nephew is closer to that age. I don't know why I'm bringing him up, but still. So 8 minus 2 times 180. 8, 7 will be 6. 6, 180. 6 times 180 is 1080. So, yeah, figured it out. That is indeed the answer. Try and identify a polygon, which would be a hexagon, like we mentioned before. So yeah, figured that out. In some cases, it's going to make you see if you can draw a tessellation from a translation, mostly. So, crap. Yeah, it's not very good. But yeah, so a tessellation, what we discussed before, is something that doesn't have a hole. If you see a giant hole here, this part can fit in there. So we just have to draw the shape again, which makes our tessellation. Yeah. So there. We kind of solved that easily. We drew, well, and it kind of better helps to understand for a tessellation. So, now, on some random problems, it's just going to ask you something random like, can a tessellation be made if, well, does the interior angles have to be congruent in order to make a tessellation? Well, no, they do not. They can be like completely out of whack, like one's 45, one's 36, I can draw 36, one's 52, and all that matters would basically be if it equals, the vertices would equal 360. So, yeah. And that's about it. Sorry.